everyone, welcome to today's session on e-notebook. Today we have taken up a new topic in English language, that is sentence improvement. Now sentence improvement is one topic where you have to have knowledge of various kind of things. For example, you need to know idioms because there might be sentences where idioms are given in a wrong way and you need to improvise on them. We might be given grammar error as well, or there also can be vocab based errors. So let us start with the first one here. Once a new book is received at a library, it has to be itemized. Now first, while starting with the sentence improvement, apart from the options, you need to know the meaning of the word that has been highlighted here. For example, here we have itemized. Itemized, what does it mean? Itemized is used when you have to analyze something or present something as a unit of individual items. Now, when a book is received at a library, what do I think can be the correct answer? Now, if I know the meaning of catalogued, catalog means to put as a complete list of items in a systematic order. And catalog is the most common word for books. We say a catalog of books means a complete list of something which is kept in a systematic order. Now again, you need to remember that you might find other options very close to the correct one, but here sentence improvement means the most suitable choice should be kept as the answer. So here I would mark catalog as my answer because I know catalog is used to place something in a systematic order, and that's what we do in library. And also that catalog is a word that I use for a collection of books. Moving on, the court carried out judicious examination of the evidence. We all must have heard of this word judicious being used with resources. We say that we must use our resources judiciously. So judicious means having a good sense of judgment. Now after that, I look at my options. Deliberate can be removed because deliberate means something that is done on its own. So deliberate is completely out of context here. Considerate means kind. So that is also out of context. Now I'm left with no improvement and scrupulous. Now please note down that both scrupulous and judicious seem to fit in the blank here. But then, if you know the meaning of scrupulous, you would definitely mark this as the right option because scrupulous means something that is done extremely carefully, thoroughly, or with extreme care. So here, in this context of the sentence, the court carried out scrupulous examination of the evidence would be the correct answer. So I mark scrupulous as my answer. Moving on, I have another one. In order to learn to speak properly, it is necessary to take elocution lessons. Now, first of all, I look at the meaning of this word, elocution. Elocution means skills of clear and expressive speech. You all must have participated in elocution competitions. Elocution basically means skill of clear and expressive speech. Or another word can be, that also comes in one word substitution, is articulate. Articulate means very clear way of speaking. So somebody who's a great speaker would be articulate in his manner and would be very great at elocution as well. So elocution is the skill of speaking well. So here, if I look at the option, I can remove therapeutic because therapeutic means anything which is related to healing or maybe medication. So I remove option C. Recitation. Recitation can be removed because recitation means repeating from your memory. So in order to speak properly, it is necessary to take elocution lessons would be the correct option because elocution means the skill of speaking or expressing through speech. Language also can be removed and the answer would be no improvement because elocution is the perfect choice for this blank. Next, despite the assurances of good faith, people could not read along the lines. Now here you have to have knowledge of idioms. Now, if you know that read between the lines is an idiom, which means to understand what is implied by the statement rather than what is given to you explicitly. So reading between the lines is an idiomatic expression meaning to understand the implied message. So here the answer would be read between the lines. Next, the two trade unions knew that they would overcome the opposition if they intermixed their policies. Now what we are doing here is sentence improvement. That does not mean that what is given in the answer is a wrong choice. But you've been asked to improvise on this. So look for what can be the suitable one here. Interfuse is again to mix two things. Now two trade unions and the opposition have to coordinate their policies and not mix their policies. So coordinate would be the suitable choice here. Also, consolidate means to make something stronger. Please note that all these meanings are very important from the vocab point of view, as you're also given synonyms and antonyms in the examination. So here, consolidate means to make something stronger, or also it has another meaning, that is to combine. I'll give you an example in the sentence. To save money on airline fees, my sister and I consolidated our clothes so that they fit in one suitcase. Means we combined them together. Also, coordinate means to bring the different elements into harmony. That is, also it means to work in a harmonious manner. Next, here we have, the arm was so badly injured that he had it amputated. Now another one, here this word can be used in one word substitution also. Amputate means to get it cut, or get any part of your body cut is to amputate. So the arm was so badly injured that he had it amputated. Now here in this part definitely has an error, because here use of infinitive is a must, because here had is used as a verb, and in the options that I can see, only in option first had is used as a verb, plus we are using a to here, and thus the answer would be, the arm was so badly injured that he had to have it amputated. Next one, I will be very busy lately. Now here lately implies near past, and thus here future doesn't make any sense. So here the answer should be have been, that is, I have been busy lately. So when we are talking about near past, only continuous can satisfy the meaning of the sentence. So here the answer would be, I've been very busy lately. A doctor appointed as an engineer would prove a square peg into a round hole. Now again here we have an idiomatic expression. The correct idiom is square peg in a hole. It means misfit. So this idiom you can use for anything which is not suitable according to its position. So if you find a foolish person in a position of a chairman, you can call it square peg in a round hole. Next is, when he landed in Britain in AD 75, the Roman leader knew his troops had the soldierly advantage. Now here, apart from this, if you look at these options, militaristic means a war-loving person. So this is used for a war-loving person. Warlike means normally something which is related to war. So soldierly means soldier-like. Soldierly means soldier-like or brave. So here, when he's talking about war troops, the only option that I see is strategic, because strategic means as a part of a plan. So when we talk about war, we talk about strategy as well. So here strategy would be the correct option. Next, early African explorers found that they had to penetrate thick jungles as they went further inland. Now here what is being talked about is people going into the jungle as they were walking further. So here intrude and attack can be removed, because both of them means something that is done forcefully. Even penetrate means something which is a forceful intrusion. So here the answer has to be destroy. Early African explorers found that they had to destroy the thick jungle as they went further inland. Or it can also be taken in a sense that to find further land, they have to destroy the thick jungle. Now here, this is a very tricky one, because here in the sentence, the captain commands everybody to jump and save themselves. That means each person should save himself. And so B should be the answer, because everyone for himself, or we can write it as each man for himself. So here the captain is commanding to every person to save himself. And so B should be the correct answer. This definitely was a tricky one. Next, as the principal, he should have given precise instructions. Here, this is another very commonly made errors, and these kind of errors are called errors of question tag. In these kind of sentences, a part is given before, and here before question mark, the part that has to come should be opposite to the part that is here. Means if here there's a positive connotation, here it should be the negative of it. For example, look at this sentence. Here we have, as the principal, he should have given precise instructions. See, here there's nothing negative. It's the positive part. So here the part after comma should be negative in sense. That is, here we have should. After the comma, we should have shouldn't he. If we have would here, it should be wouldn't he. So that's how it goes. Next, England has so been famous for her playwrights. Here we want to denote a time period. So is definitely a wrong one. All these are used for denoting time period, but put them here in the blank and read the sentence. England has ever been famous for her playwrights. England has since, but since when? We are not given any specific time. So here since can be removed, so has been removed. There is definitely a scope for improvement. So option B, D are cut, gone. So here England has long is the only word which gives me the expression of a timeline. And thus I would mark C as the correct option. Most people thought that movies were just a lasting novelty. Here, I believe that you understand the meaning of the sentence. Here he implies that most people thought that movies, just last for a very short time. Because just is used here, I will not use growing or permanent or something positive here. So the answer would be passing. And it is making sense also. Put it here and try. Most people thought that movies were just a passing novelty. We visit zoo to enjoy ourselves. Now again, this one is tricky because we visit zoo to delight ourselves, amuse ourselves, inform ourselves, or no improvement. Here most of us would get confused because the options are very close. But the only one thing that will help you arrive at the answer is the fact that enjoy is a word which always needs a reflexive pronoun after it. So if you say that I enjoyed, the sentence is wrong. If I say I enjoyed at the party, that would also be wrong. So after enjoy, there is always a need of a reflexive pronoun. And thus, there is no improvement needed in this sentence. The next one, the ants are said to have trails which are used by other ants for taking food. Now here the sentence means to say that there are many ants and the trails that they have are used by other ants to maybe carry the food. And the word that can be used for carrying is transporting. So the trails that the ants have should be used to transport the food. And so transport would be the most suitable option. Now please note that in sentence improvement, you might find other options also suitable. But the trick is to find the option that is most fit in the blank, that makes sense according to the sentence also. Here, that is the case where transporting should be used in the blank to give the sentence a sense. Next, if you're born into a family where prestige matters less than anything else, there is little chance of realizing your dream. Now this sentence is an example of how you need to understand the context of a sentence before marking the correct option. Because here, you might find less correct in the blank. But if you understand the context of the passage, he tries to say that if you are born into a family where prestige matters less than anything, if this part is correct, then this part after the comma does not hold good. There is little chance of realizing your dream only when if you're born into a family where prestige matters more and not less. So there'll be times when you're given a sentence where the two parts of the sentence, in order to make them coherent, you need to make an improvement in the first part. And this sentence is an example of the same. So here, prestige matters more than anything, only then this part holds good. So B is my correct answer. Next, the origin of ice cream dates back from nearly half a century. Now here again, it's an expression. We say dates back to. Because a specific time and not a time period is given here, we have to use to after date back or dating back to. So correct answer would be dating back to. Thank you.
If you like the video, please hit the like button, comment and share it with your friends. Also don't forget to subscribe for all our future videos.